the dark world to start, so things hit for a lot harder. And
Yeah.
off we go.
Trenter is starting in Link's house. He gets some bombs, which is really nice because he can just go straight to Hype Cave and grab 5 items there. Normally one of the tough things about Inverted is finding bombs and rupees early on because you have no weapons and there's not as many item locations available right away.
And we did, Trent did a quick map check there, and the only thing I did notice is that Ice Palace is a red pendant.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to look at it. There's a hammer, so that is a nice weapon to have early on. We also had a mushroom.
And on Chexhuman side, we have a tree pull of 80 rupees in total, so far doing pretty good in terms of rupees, since it's pretty hard to come by, especially in inverted mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tree pull of red rupees is very, very nice.
Right. Looks like we're getting confirmation in chat that both Misery Mire and Skullwood are the red crystals this time around.
Chex gets a heart out of the C-shaped house, while Trenter is trying to go over straight to the pyramid. He's got 1 heart, so he has to be a little careful around these enemies.
Okay.
Chex using those. There's 2 bomb bushes there below that little bombable hut. So that can be a good place to farm up some bombs early on.
It looks like on Trent's side on the top of the pyramid, we have the lamp. So the main thing for inverted mode is that you want to try to get access to the light world as fast as you can. So usually because it's not as difficult in terms of enemies and getting hurt for a lot more. And we're halfway there. We have Trent with the lantern there, so he is a power glove away to getting up through Death Mountain and getting access through that side.
Chexhuman gonna grab his hammer here.
Also, forgot to mention that the NPC inside Hype Cave also have the mushroom, so we'll be hopefully giving that to the witch once we get over to the light world. What does inverted mean again from chat? Inverted means you start the game in the dark world, either in the sanctuary or inside your house. And once you get the mirror, you would use the mirror in the light world to be transported back into the dark world. So it's pretty much a normal mode, but everything is mixed up a little bit.
Trent is checking out Skull Woods. Just a map so far.
Yep.
And just 20 rupees from Stumpy. But that does give Chex enough money for the digging game.
Yep, digging game is 80 rupees to play. You also have a chance of getting more rupees as you continue digging, so a nice place to farm for rupees early on.
So, and there's a compass from Skullwood, so nothing much yet. And just 50 rupees from the digging game. Which is not bad, because that now gives him almost enough money to get into pod.
Yes, to enter pod, it is 110 rupees in total to enter.
This is a really tricky room to deal with when you have low health, although the hammer does help a bit, as Trenter has to push that statue onto the button beneath that skull pot.
Be careful of the Gyptos running around as well as the Wallmaster wanting to grab them.
And just 20 rupees for his troubles. Chexhuman getting harassed a little bit by the thief as he tries to go into Thieves Town, but he makes it in.
And Trent's doing a death warp out of Skullwoods, and we'll see where he will go from here. Those are all the checks he can do at Skullwoods at the moment, since he doesn't have the fire rod to continue forward.
Chexhuman finds a bug net in the first chest in Thieves, and a full heart container.
Meanwhile, Trent is going to be making his way through the village of Outcasts as Chexhuman continues in Thieves Town.
So with the hammer checks, can full clear all of Thieves Town here.
We'll be able to get the big key chests as well as potentially fight blind if they do so, if they so wish to do so. And I believe it is a crystal dungeon this time around. Oh yeah, so that was in the treasure game was a blue boomerang.
And we do hear the crystal music, so we know Thieves Town is a crystal.
Yeah, it's one of the things I didn't really notice until like a little while later about the changes in music that you hear in the dungeons. So that's a nice little indicator of where you are exactly.
Yeah, the way I always recognize it is that this music has strings in it, and that means it's a crystal. Music without the strings, always a pendant. Except in Kisame.
Yes.
Just some bombs in the attic of Thieves Town. Did you see if Chex checked that hint there?
He did not know. Yeah, usually that hit does take a few seconds to check because you have to do the maneuvering with the blocks. So I don't believe a whole lot of players actually go for that hint typically.
Well, I usually do, especially early on in the game, but some players just don't.
Yeah. Oh, you did check it. It was a fake hint. Okay, good. Thanks, Chad.
Okay. Chexhuman coming up to get blind and finds a power glove. So that's another piece to our Light World access. And with the lamp also gives us logical access to Death Mountain.
I would imagine after here, they will go up to Death Mountain and be able to access a few more items there, as well as escorting the old man. We're going to see Chexhuman's take on the blind fight here, and using some hammer strats.
Hammer's a little tougher to beat blind with. All weapons that do hit blind do the same amount of damage, so the fighter sword actually is a little bit easier to do this fight with. But I'm sure these players have practiced this.
Oh, I hope, yeah, definitely. The hammer is does take a little bit more precision to pull off effectively. And Chex does it with no problem at all.
Right, so that small key is locked inside the big chest, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yep, and that is the first dungeon clear for Chexhuman. Alright.
Looks like I think he'll be heading over towards the pod area. Maybe grab his lamp from the pyramid.
And at the very least, he'll be able to unlock pod. Whether or not it is locked this time around, we will have to see.
He could also choose to go up to catfish instead with those gloves.
Yes, that is great. This is just normal inverted mode, so not swordless. They don't have a sword just yet, but they will hopefully be finding one before the race is done. Hopefully.
Looks like Chex is going to go down to pod. Is just barely enough rupees to get in.
Yep, just enough. So, assuming that nothing happens as Chex is escorting Kiki the monkey up to the entrance to pod, it'll be 110 rupees, 10 rupees to start, and then 100 more for Kiki to unlock the dungeon for you. Yes, correct. This is a defeat Ganon seat, so hopefully these guys won't be needing to clear pendant dungeons as long as it's not pedestal required. If there's something on the pedestal.
You never know. Trent clears out Thieves Town, so where's he going to go next?
See, I don't think Trent did the digging game yet.
Chex is going to find out if he can continue. He'll need a small key here, or the bow. He does get a small key.
Looks like Trent's going to be farming for more rupees as well.
And there's our moon pearl. So that is full light world access now for Chexhuman.
Yeah, I won't be able to clear pod just yet until the bow is found.
And Chex got a hint. A map needs fire in Tower of Hera, so that means the basement of Tower of Hera can be skipped.
Looks like Chexhuman is opting to leave pod for now, and I guess would be heading up to get a light world access now that they have the gloves and the hammer in hand.
Yeah. Often inverted seems to be a race to who gets Light World access first. Just because once you open up the Light World, there's just so many locations you can check, and so he's just going to find a whole pile of items early on. Trent, meanwhile, is unfortunately going to Catfish, although you never know, we could find something useful here.
It could definitely be something useful, as you know, most of us have seen one way or another.
So it looks like Chexhuman is going to start with turning in that mushroom.
Let's see what the witch has for us today.
Meanwhile, Trent throws that rock to the catfish. We get a bottle from the witch.
And 300 rupees from the catfish.
Yep.
Right, and then Chexhuman is going to be going through doing escape first. Yes, he is going to be doing the back half of escape to start.
Trent, meanwhile, making his way to Pod, so he should grab his Moon Pearl here.
And Chexhuman with a total of 350 rupees and a heart container. And then we'll be going to Sanctuary to get one more chest there.
Yeah, this is a route you don't usually see in open or standard because you can just save and quit to the Sanctuary. But in inverted, it's a bit of a pain to get back there, so he's just going to go through these couple rooms.
Yeah, until Chexhuman finds the mirror, I would imagine that he'll be in the light world for a little bit longer.
Chuck's going to head up towards the Lost Woods.
Alright, we'll see if we get maybe a lumberjack cave, Chuck.
Oh, red rubies from the crab. The seed has been very generous with the cash so far.
Yeah, lots of money this time around. And on the ledge today we have 10 arrows.
So, looks like Aghanim not required at all.
Yeah, the neat thing about inverted mode is that Aghanim 1 will almost never be required unless there is an item, a progression item up in the ledge there. So,
it can sometimes be required for Dark World access, but it's I think it is a little less likely than in open or standard.
Mm-hmm. Alright, that's our light world map check there.
I saw
green pendant in Hera, I believe.
Yeah, I saw another pendant down at Desert and a crystal at Eastern. Chexhuman about to enter Kakariko now.
Yep, and we'll be able to clear it in full with the bombs and the bottle for Sick Kid. Money for the bottle vendor there. It's a lot of items that could be found here.
The flute. That's a nice find. And
Fire
the fire
rod.
rod. As well as the second bottle. Trent, meanwhile, making his way into the light world. He'll be starting off at Lost Woods.
Another bottle. There's a third bottle that Chex has found.
Well, plenty of safeties now. That's good.
This is a very rich seed so far.
No doubt. Just a heart piece from the bottle vendor.
I believe Chex will be activating the food here soon before he leaves Kakariko. So the way that the food works this time in inverted mode, it will work in the dark world, but you still need to activate it normally through the light world. And the food points are still the same in the dark world as they are in the light world.
Just 20 rupees in the back of the tavern.
Also nice to point out that Chat just mentioned, we now have 11 hearts on Chex's side. Oh, 1 second. Gotta activate the flute there. There we go. Alright, Chex is now done with all the checks in Kakariko, and we will be moving on to the library check as well as the racing game. And our fourth bottle in the library. I think we're good on bottles for now.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna bother with that one.
No. And it looks like just a heart container in the racing game.
Alright, Chex is gonna go up and check out Death Mountain.
I think we're gonna rescue the lost old man. So for inverted mode, the layout is still the same as it is in the light world, but bringing the old man back to his home is takes a little bit longer. So what you'll need to do is bring the old man up to the very top of the mountain to the warp, and then jump on down, and then deliver him to his home. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, if you accidentally talk to this little bubble thing, it's kind of annoying because he just rambles on and on.
Mm-hmm. To answer your question in chat, there have been some modifications made in inverted mode. Areas that you would normally require the mirror to access to get to the dark world, they've now added usually ladders to certain areas, or they've made the ground flat. As you guys saw up there at the top of Death Mountain in the dark world, there's now a ladder that leads up to what is normally Ganon's Tower in normal mode. That's actually where you go if Aghanim 1 was required. That's where you would enter that fight.
Yeah, and of note is you can no longer get to Tower of Hyrule with the mirror. You absolutely need the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And we find the Ether Medallion in Spectacle Rock Cave. And we'll get a hint as well.
Oh, that's a useful hint.
Yeah, bombs and a compass in western wing of Swamp House, so that means left side swamp can be skipped.
Yeah. Also, to speak of more new additions in version 30, hint tiles are now a thing, so they can tell you where things are, where you need to go. I think for every seed, there's at least 2 joke hint tiles, which you will notice right away that they're jokes.
Chexhuman, I'm going to check out Mire. We'll see what medallion we need for that.
It is either.
Alright, so we can open it up. We'll still need the hook shot or the boots to get it inside.
Yeah, I can't open it just yet since you still need the sword to
That
use
is
the
true,
medallion.
Yeah. Trent are going to check out the Mold Run Cave. Just a shield, not much else of use inside there.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Chex is going to be heading up to Catfish, it seems.
This was 300 rupees, if I remember correctly.
Yes, correctly. Mm-hmm.
Trent heading up to Ice Road Cave.
I guess I must have missed it on Trent's side, but it looks like he picked up the sword over in Mini Molten Cave.
Oh, it wasn't in Mini Mold Run Cave. I'm not quite sure where.
Oh wait, no, that was Gosh, where was it again?
Also looks like he picked up the Cane of Burna as well. Oh, no, he didn't get a sword. He got a shield, rather.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Otherwise, I'm sure he would have used it on those crabs that bumped him down to half a heart of health.
That's a good point.
Trent's gonna try to fake flipper here. Having a little trouble setting it up.
Yeah, it's a little hard to set up when you don't have the sword to kind of like line up where you need to jump.
Yeah, well, you can still hold B though to kind of get into the little stance. But okay, he finally gets it.
Okay, so the shield was in the Mini Moldrum Cave. It looks like there was the hookshot over in the Hylia Island, which now has a ladder added in inverted mode.
Yeah, so it looks like he decided to pick that up. Of course, once you do that and hop on the island, you can't continue your fake flipper, so he wasn't able to make it to Zora.
But
I think he's happy with the hookshot, and Chexhuman gets taken out by those crabs.
Well, those crabs, they don't mess around.
Yeah, they're one of the few light world enemies that does 2 hearts of damage for some reason. So, yeah, Ice Rod Cave always a tricky journey.
Right, looks like Trent is going to be escorting the old man as well.
And Chexhuman is going to check out the eastern area.
With the hook shot, and not sure if they'll be going. Oh my god, not again! Let's see what Starshula has in his stash today.
Just a book.
Right? So we are literate now.
Of course, Desert is a pendant, so that may not be required.
It's a kind of cool to add that in inverted mode, some items now have a lot more weight than usual. To enter Desert Palace, you now need the book. It is absolutely required.
Trent gonna give us our first look at the eastern part of Death Mountain.
But I think we may have to wait for a few seconds.
Yeah. That's not where you want that guy to freeze up.
So dead rocks, crabs, just giving our 2 players a little bit of trouble this time around.
We got a mirror and a shovel. The mirror is very nice and inverted.
Yes, yes.
And definitely required, as Swamp Palace is a crystal.
And stealing our uncle's money.
Yeah, that must have been his life savings. We got our fire shield flippers. So quite a few required items on the east side of Death Mountain so far.
Yeah. And it looks like with those items, I think... Is Swamp now available? Is now in play?
Yep. Yeah, we can fully clear Swamp if they choose to. So that could be a good play. Ice Palace also fully available. Trent finds a magic cape.
It looks like Chex is going to be doing the escape sequence here. And finds the boots.
That's a nice item to have.
It's a very nice item. I see an example of Trent using the magic mirror in the light world and creating the portal in the dark world. And
Titansmiths for Trent. Titansmiths not required in inverted most of the time. But they do help a bit with navigation, and they do unlock 1 item in the King's Tomb.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Titansmiths, they don't have as much they're not as important to find this time around. Only because areas that are normally that you would normally need them for are easily accessible now in inverted mode.
Trent has only got one heart here. Oh, there's the second one for him. And blue mail. Yeah, if he had not found that extra heart, he would not have been able to get out of there easily, as he would have died by falling in a pit. Trent are gonna hop into Mimic Cave, another inverted change here. You don't have to go through Turtle Rock in order to get in here. You can just jump down onto the ledge and mirror in. Actually, you don't even have to mirror. Just a piece of heart, though. As Chex finds the Cane of Berna there in, I guess we call this Cave 45, or the south of the Grove Cave.
Yep. Yeah, another cool thing to point out on inverted mode is that for Turtle Rock, you necessarily don't need the medallion to enter through the front side. You can enter through Mimic Cave, or even through a laser bridge as well. So one less item to worry about, but it does make routing through Turtle Rock a little bit more interesting, to say the least.
Check's going to be going into the Graveyard Ledge, which you can now access without the mirror.
Alright.
Trent makes quick work of that Chain Chomp room. Those Chain Chomps deal a ton of damage, and he gets through without a single hit.
Yeah, those Chain Chomps are not kind at all.
No. Yeah, you can clear out quite a bit of Turtle Rock without the Cane of Samaria. Just the first 3 items, as well as Trinex, require the cane.
No, this mode is not swordless. It's just been a little over half an hour and neither runner has found a sword yet, so I believe we should be finding a sword at some point in the seed.
And here is a ped check, and that is Bombos on the pedestal.
Oh.
So that looks like it probably won't be required unless we need it to get in the front of Turtle Rock. We do have the fire rod for Ice Palace access as well, so...
Correct.
Yeah, I think you can probably get in the front of Turtle Rock anyway without that if they can find the Cane of Samaria.
Correct, yeah.
So chances are that pedestal will not be required.
Yeah, probably safe to say it's maybe at least 99.9% dead.
Chexhuman sees the hook shot, but he wants to go grab the Hobo's item first, while Trent makes his way through the laser bridge. Just a crisp 20 from the Hobo.
Yeah, just gotta be careful here. Oh, and it just takes death.
The shield was found in Mini Moldorm Cave. And he got a second shield. I believe it was in Paradox Cave. Might be wrong though.
I think so, I believe.
Chexhuman grabs some cash from the Waterfall Fairy.
Looks like Chex is going to be doing the rest of the checks here before going back to the island, getting the hook shots.
Red boomerang on the ledge, so I don't think he's going to bother with that.
Oh, speaking of swords.
And there's our first sword from Zora. Meanwhile, Trent heads over towards the Tower of Hera. He does not have the book, so he can't check that ether tablet. And Chex is going to swim back so that he can grab that hook shot off the Hylia island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if Trent saw the hint about the basement of Hera. He might have.
And that was a hint telling us what's locked on the left side of Mire. I saw a key. I didn't see the other item.
Yeah, I didn't see the other item either. Yes, and to answer your question in chat, money is not considered in logic. So even if you have 500 rupees at any time, doesn't necessarily mean that Zora is in logic. So it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of a risk that you're willing to take there.
Yeah, I mean, it can even force you to farm up rupees for Zora if you have to.
Mm-hmm. You saw the hint there on Trent's side that a unique item is in Super Bunny Cave.
Well, we got that one already.
Yeah. It looks like Trent will be full clearing Hera, it looks like.
Yeah, going up to take on Moldorm. Meanwhile, Chexhuman is going to go finish off Skull Woods.
Yeah, with the fire rod in hand, we'll be able to defeat Mothula.
And the sword as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotta use that sword to cut down those old moldy vines on the way to Mothula. I know that Chexhuman saw the hook shot, but he opted not to get it at this time. No, I would like to think that he'll be getting that later on.
Oh. That's interesting. I thought he was going back for it for sure. Yeah, the only thing required to open Zora is the gloves or the flippers, logically. The randomizer does not take into account how much money is available. So there could be a whole pile of 300 rupee drops and Zora has nothing. Or there could be absolutely no money available and you have to go find it somewhere in the world.
Mm-hmm. Who chose this mode? Who chose this mode in chat? I believe this is Trenter TR's seed of choice.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ready to see Chex dance with our good friend Mothula?
He'll be using the hammer here. No, switch to the fire rod. But he'll have to do some hammer shots.
Yeah. Alright, well done.
Very nice fight. Just get some bombs, but he does get the crystal, which is the most important thing.
Yep. And it's crystal number 2 for Chexhuman. Higher seed right now is Chexhuman, and he is on the right-hand side of your guys' screen today.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason one player's on the left or right. I think it's kind of just random.
I think it's just like by chance. Alright, Chex, let's see where you are heading off to now.
He's going to clear out Dark Death Mountain. Meanwhile, Trent heads into Swamp.
And Chex gets his Titan's mitts. Chex did see the hook shot. He just opted not to get it at that time. I would assume that he'll be making his way back there later on. Probably has a few more checks to work with in the meantime.
Yeah, he just did a double take, so I think he just forgot about it. So he's going to be kicking himself a little bit for that.
Right, and as that's going on, Trenter is making his trek in through Swamp Palace. We do now know that left side of Swamp is not going to be required this time around.
And we do see the Ether medallion on Turtle Rock, so we absolutely know that Bombos on the pedestal will not be required for any reason.
Yep. Yep, pedestal is now officially dead.
Is that the cane of Samaria in
I think it is.
Spiral Cave? Did Trent not get that?
I don't think he went to Spiral Cave.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Well, that could be huge.
Oh boy. Well, Trenter did get the ice rod over in Swamp Palace. So, almost the way there to defeating Trinax over in Turtle Rock. It's a very nice rod, yes.
Wow, that could change the match significantly if Trent does not go back for that Samaria anytime soon. Because I think the only other item he's left up there is maybe Spike Cave and maybe the Ether Tablet.
Yep.
Well, Chexhuman grabs his flippers and fire shield. Yeah, Dreams Like Desert. Inverted confuses all of us.
Yeah, it's still a very, very new mode for all of us here. And it's just going to take some getting used to see more races done in this mode. If, for those of you who do Randomizer, if you guys want more of a challenge, inverted mode is right up your alley.
Absolutely. Chexhuman gonna look at the ether tablet, which Trent was unable to check. Just cash.
Alright, looks like Chexhuman is going to be going through Tower of Hera. I don't believe Trenter has turned in the green pendant yet. Has he?
I didn't see it.
Okay. Because I don't think he's made his way back to Eastern after getting that.
Yeah, maybe waiting to find the bow before he does that.
Okay, there's a hint. So Misery Mire Big Key and Small Key are fire locked.
Oh, okay, so we do need to go to that left side. Trent, meanwhile, taking on Argus. Not a very fun fight without a sword. You have to menu back and forth between the hookshot and the hammer.
I'm doing some menu strats here. Is it possible to generate an inverted seed with entrance randomizer? I believe so.
No, I don't think entrance randomizer has been had inverted added to it. I think right now only open mode is available with entrance randomizer.
Because entrance randomizer is a whole different beast to tackle, and I don't believe it is one of the modes available for the choosing for the fall tournament. So
no, entrance randomizer is very much more luck based, I think, than a lot of other modes.
Mm-hmm.
And both players finishing off their respective bosses. Just bombs from Argus, but also a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Enemizer is available in inverted, but I don't believe it's one of the allowed options for this tournament.
I don't believe it is, no. Because I know for the tournament, I know the only two modes that are not available. I know the only modes that are not available are pedestal is not allowed, Triforce Hunt is not allowed, and I think standard randomizer. I think it is allowed, but it's only the bosses that are randomized.
Chexhuman grabs just 10 arrows out of Spike Cave.
That wasn't worth the trip at all.
No.
Alright, so let's see. Chexhuman, where are you heading off to now?
Looks like he'll be turning in his green pendant, I think.
And maybe going into Eastern Palace as well.
Chexhuman using a little spin speed trick. If you slash your sword and dash at the right time, you can go super fast. And he finds a Master Sword off of Sahasrara, so that green pendant definitely has some value.
Yep, so Chex is now run throughout Hyrule with a Master Sword, while Trenter TR is still swordless almost an hour in.
Chexhuman gonna grab a potion here and pick up his hookshot, I would assume.
Looks like Trenter is going to be heading up to Zora and finally getting their first sword. So what do we still need an hour in? We still don't know where the bow is.
I think it's just the bow at this point.
It's just the bow, yeah.
Of course, they'd like to find another sword or the silvers, because nobody wants to do Master Sword Ganon with no silvers.
No, no one does.
But bow, I think, is the only absolutely required item that we're still missing.
Yep, it's the only one we still has not been accounted for. And we still have plenty of areas to check as well.
Where were the boots? Those
Boots were in
Escape.
Yeah, they were in the first chest that you get before going in.
Yeah, so a couple of these sort of out-of-the-way checks that Trent skipped, Escape and Spiral Cave, those could cost him.
Yep, Spiral Cave is where Samari is located, and you do need it for Mire and Turtle Rock. So, I'm not sure when he'll be able to make his return there. And Spiral Cave is definitely one of it is kind of out of the way as well. But more often than not, there is something very important in there.
So both runners right now are doing stuff we've seen, so I'd just like to take this opportunity to mention, give our runners a follow. I'm going to throw up their links in chat here. They're both very talented runners, and they're putting on a good show for us, so show them some support.
Yep, and also you guys can check out the volunteer staff helping doing all the races for the fall tournaments. There were volunteer commentators or trackers or restreamers. Please give them, give them much love. And literally, there would not be a show without any of us. So it's definitely a labor of love. And also, thank you guys to chat for hanging out with us, and also, anything that we miss on stream, you guys are always there to help us out and everything. So, props to you guys as well.
In the meantime, Chex has grabbed his ice rod out of Swamp, so he now just needs a bow.
Yep. I think at this rate, Chex could return to Turtle Rock if he wants to after going to Song Palace, and dare I say, could the bow be in Turtle Rock? Maybe on our good friend Trinex?
Yeah, or he may opt to go to Misery Mire first.
That's probably the less painful of the two dungeons. But yes, once we have the bow, we'll be officially in go mode and be able to finish off Eastern and Pod, and then head up to the tower.
The tower, of course, in Inverted, is not on Death Mountain. It's located on top of Hyrule Castle, where Aghanim's tower used to be.
Alright, here goes Trenter with the Mothula fight. Gonna release the Golden Bee here to do some assist work. He has two bees. Oh.
This is always a funny strat to watch.
Oh yeah, Super Bees will do some damage to Mothula. It's kind of hilarious, actually.
Yeah, it does make Mothula kind of fly around wildly, so you do have to be pretty careful when you're doing this.
Bees for everyone. Alright, Chexhuman is kind of doing some risky play here, but has a potion.
Trent's really taking a lot of damage from those spikes. He's got just 2 hearts left.
Gotta be really careful here, and he does it.
Not close, but he gets it done.
You know, we see Chexhuman doing the Argus fight with Master Sword, hook shot, so a little bit easier time for him. What mode
is the ice rod as well?
What mode? This is normal mode, defeat Ganon, random swords, inverted. Alright, and that is crystal number 3 for Chex. So both of our runners have the same dungeons cleared.
Yeah, the biggest difference right now, Trent does not have that Cane of Samaria, which is in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, he also doesn't have boots either, which are located in Hyrule Castle on the way to escape.
Yeah, the boots most likely aren't required, but they do help you move fast.
Yeah, the only way that the boots would be absolutely required is if Ganon's big key is located on the torch, in which the boots would be required. Right, and the big 20 rains from the heavens from the Bumbo's tablets. And I think Trent... Okay, he's not... I thought he was going to the desert there for a second. Right, and 50 rupees over in Checkerboard Cave. And both of our runners are going in to meet our friend Agina, see what he has for us in store. We got some sync going on here, guys.
Just more arrows.
It'll be very interesting to see if both of these runners decide to enter Mire as well. Although Chex looks like he's going into Mire first.
Trent actually cannot finish any more crystals right now without the bow or the Cane of Samaria.
Looks like Trent's going to be turning into the Green Pendant and getting the Master Sword. And also will be doing the check into the back of Saha's hut here, which was the book, and I believe it was money. Yeah, it was money. Yeah, looks like for Chexhuman, he will be able to full clear Mire as well.
Yeah, there's his first item, just some bombs. So one more item left in Mire.
Yeah, and we know where the big key. We know where the big key is as well, with the hints that we found earlier. And I think Trencher looks like he is going into Eastern Palace.
Yeah, I don't believe Chex has been in there yet, so...
Nope, this is brand new information that we're finding out. If we find the bow here, then Trencher will be able to complete it. But if not, then we'll have to go elsewhere.
There's a small key, so we are going to have to sit through this cutscene in order to get the big key.
Yep, light the torches and then head on down the screen. I know there is a hint in the next room for Chex. I don't know if he'll be getting to it. We'll see.
There's red mail for Trent.
Oh.
That in the big chest of Swamp Palace. He already opened that, so.
Yeah. Also to note, Trenter does now have all 3 mail upgrades. Chex is still running around in green mail though. First mail was in Eastern Palace. The second one was in Hookshot Cave, which Chex did not get to the first time he was there because he did not have the hook shots.
Chex finds the second item in Mire, which is a useless Quake medallion. So he can just head straight to the boss now.
Mm-hmm. Alright, with Chex making his way to Vitreous, we'll be doing this fight with Master Sword and Hammer, so it'll be a challenging fight, but
he does have the cape and the cane of Burna, which I think he'll probably use.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Trenter went as far into Eastern as he could. And I believe we'll probably be entering Pod. Or not.
I think he went in Pod earlier. Well, yeah, the Moon Pearl was there, so he had to have.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Where's he going now? Desert, maybe?
Maybe checking the Bumble's tablet.
Yeah, did we see this earlier? I think Chex did check this actually.
Yes, Bumble's tablet was 20 rupees. Alright, then Chex is on his way to fight a very good friend of ours. Maybe not so good. Vitreous over in Misery Mire. And it looks like Trenter is going to be making the Desert Palace play here.
I'm surprised he's heading in here before checking Escape to get the boots.
Alright, here goes our Vitreous fight on Chexhuman side.
Just a piece of heart in the first chest, so Desert is boots locked.
Yep, well, there's a hint there in the room.
So much for that hint.
I mean, to be fair, tea is delicious, but probably not very useful in this in the randomizer at least.
I think he's gonna go dip into Misery Mire, which is gonna be unfortunate for him.
Yep, without the Cane of Samaria, I won't be able to finish it. And on Chexhuman side, we know not a whole lot of useful items in there.
Yep.
That does the Vitreous fight with no problem at all, and gets their 4th crystal. Oh yeah, chat brings up a good point. With both Skullbits and Misery Mire completed, Chex now has the option to check out the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he'll be going to next.
So I'm guessing
not.
he'll do, you know,
No? Hmm.
is he going to Ice Palace? Or is he just grabbing a potion?
He may be grabbing a potion. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another change in Inverted. This shop now sells blue potions, which is pretty convenient.
Oh, really? I did not know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, I believe that change was made just in case you ever have to fight blind with the Cane of Samaria or the Cane of Burna. And or if you have to get into Ice Palace and you have no magic. So this just makes it so you don't have to go farm magic somewhere.
Right. I believe Chex is going back into Turtle Rock and can clear it.
Yeah, I think this play makes the most sense right now.
So the cool thing about inverted mode is that for Turtle Rock, you just crawl up, walk up the tail on the mountain, and you can get to the top. It's actually kind of cool. It's like one of my favorite things to be added in for the inverted mode. Alright. I think we did find the big key already in Turtle Rock. The only thing we don't know are the items that are on the very beginning of the dungeon.
Yeah, and on Trinex as well.
Correct,
I think he's going to fight Trinex first, and then he'll go up and check those items. Oh, no, he's going to go up here first.
Oh, no. This is going backwards.
One thing to note in Inverted, if you defeat Trinex before you've opened the front of Turtle Rock, it just opens it for you. Because you come out of there, and if it doesn't open, you kind of get stuck in there, and you have to save and quit. So if he defeats Trinex first, he'll be able to check those front items a little more easily. Big Key can absolutely be on Laser Bridge in Inverted.
Yeah, for inverted mode, we learned not too long ago that you can even find the Moon Pearl on Laser Bridge in inverted mode, which makes some for very, very fun times for everyone.
Yeah, that's always funny to see.
So those little checks is going to be doing those checks at the very beginning of Turtle Rock. Since we still are looking for the bow at this point. Alright, Trenter, where are you heading off to now? Possibly... looks like going back into the light world.
Maybe he's gonna go do escape and grab those boots. Alright, he is gonna get his boots here. Unfortunately, I think that might send him back to desert.
Oh, those chain chomps though.
Ouch.
Ugh. Yes, boots were in the escape sequence in the castle. And it's the first chest that you see when you're finding the blue guard. And I don't think there's anything else useful in escape in the last two chests there. I don't believe. Nothing of note, at least.
So, Chex looking in the front of Turtle Rock. Just hoping to find a bow.
Yep. Yeah, so we know it's not in Eastern Palace. Chex didn't fully go into pod, because I know he had a small key left, but opted to leave earlier.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know if either of them checked any of the dark rooms in the back of pod. So both
They did not know.
could possibly be sitting in there.
Mm-hmm.
No, nothing there. Unless
Nope.
it's on Trinex.
Alright. And then Chexhuman's gonna be doing a death warp here. Getting back to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, as Trenter grabs his boots, finally.
So I believe Trinex does have an item on him, because I think we did find the compass and the map here. Alright, here we go. Trinex fight for Chexhuman with Master Sword and possibly Hammer Strats? And using Backdoor Strats as well. Right? And Chex with running into the second phase of the Trinex fight here, using Hammer Strats. Not an easy feat. A few more hits there. And there we go. Alright, now it's Trinex down for Chexhuman. We'll see what our good friend Trinex had on him this entire time. And just 20 rupees. Alright, so with that is crystal number 5 for Chexhuman. The real question is, where do we go from here? So if you guys were these players, where would you go to next? I feel like the only place we have not gone to yet is Ice Palace, which has not been visited yet. Yes, Red Cane is required to complete Mire and Turtle Rock, and that was found in Spiral Cave. Looks like Chexhuman is going back into Turtle Rock here. I think there are a few more chests that he can check here, including the vanilla big key chest right there in the middle. Alright, let's see if this play will work out for Chex. And just the bombs. Alright, so those are all the items accounted for in Turtle Rock for Chexhuman. So Chex, where are we heading off to now? Did Trent check King's Tomb? I don't remember actually. I think he did. Yeah, I don't remember what was in there. I don't think it was anything of note. Oh, it's 10 arrows. Okay, cool. Thanks. Totally forgot we found that shovel much earlier, and just got a heart container for our troubles there. Alright, Chex, where are we heading off to now? So I don't think that hasn't been accounted for is the Blacksmith chain here, which Chex is going to be starting up here, and having trouble with the warp point here.
Trent heading into Ice Palace, I guess.
Oh.
Oh, look at that hint.
Oh.
Wow. That may have just saved his run. That is huge. Of course, he's still a bit behind because he still hasn't cleared out Mire or Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't be too happy about that.
Gotta... all the rage slashes. And looks like Trent's gonna be making his way back.
Chexhuman, meanwhile, is going to look in Hammerpeg Cave. Just a heart piece.
And then Chex is going to be wrapping up the Blacksmith chain here by returning the purple chest over, I believe his name is Gary, is what we've been officially dubbed him. I don't remember, I always forget.
I think so.
Yeah. Right, and then looks like Trent is finally going to be getting the Cane of Samaria. And Trent was just so very happy to see Samaria there. He left a little gift for the chest.
A fiery gift.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now then, where are two runners going to be checking next?
Well, we still have Ice Palace, we still have Desert Palace, and we still have the back of Pod, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Trenter's going to be trying his hand at the Trinex fight now. Alright, and then Chex is going to be returning the purple chest and see what was inside. There's the bow. There we are.
Well, 1 hour, 25 minutes. That is go mode for Chexhuman. So he's just got to go and quickly wrap up Eastern Palace and Pod. And then he can go start Ganon's Tower, rather.
Yep. And fortunately, with Pod and Eastern, the last 2 dungeons to be completed, you just mirror into... Well, I guess in this case, go into Eastern, finish that up, then mirror back into Desert, into Palace of Darkness, and it'll be good to go.
Trent's having a little trouble with those fire rod shots, but good thing he bought a potion. Otherwise, he would have been stuck.
Yeah, doing Trinex with this equipment loadout is definitely not ideal, but it is possible. Alright, and Trent does it with ease.
Yeah, much better time on the 3rd phase of Trinex there.
Now, since we are technically now in go mode, if you were Chexhuman, would you guys continue to look for chests, to look for another sword upgrade or silvers, or do you just gun it and just do Master Sword silverless Ganon?
I guess for me, I guess it would depend on how much I've practiced it. You know, I'd check chests that are convenient to check, but I think these runners are good enough that they can do Master Sword silverless.
Alright, with Trenter completing Trinex size to be continuing doing all the checks here in Turtle Rock.
And usually, I mean, they've cleared out a good chunk of the world, so chances are they'll find something in Ganon's tower.
Just using the bow to its fullest extent here. Making some quick work out of the Armos Knights here. And more cash. So it'll be crystal number 6 for Chexhuman, and after this is done, we'll be heading back into Pod and completing that dungeon. I don't remember the first time he was in Pod. Did he find the big key?
I think so, but I could be wrong.
Okay. He did, yes. But he still needs to find the small key to enter on the way to Helmsor King. Yeah, chat does bring up a good point. In the event you don't have silvers by the time you reach Ganon, he'll tell you where the silver arrows are. So if you want to, you can always jump down in the pit and find where the silvers are, then go back up and try again. Right, the small key Chexhuman is going to be making his way over to Helmsor King and skipping the rest of the chest here in Pod. Just realized that Chex will be going into the rest of the game with just green armor. Don't believe he'll be finding his upgrades anytime soon.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he co-moded Eastern, which had 1 upgrade, and he did not return to Hookshot Cave, which had the 2nd one. So Be very interesting to see how he is able to execute the rest of the seed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him stop off at that shop and fill up on blue potions.
Now, the early bottles that we found in the game wouldn't put it past. Wouldn't be surprised if they opted to do that.
Yeah. Trent, meanwhile, can he use Master Sword strats here on Vitreous?
Yep, but more hits. Takes a few more hits there. Also, stepping on the goo there is a little bit hurts for a little bit there. Fortunately, got that blue potion on him.
Spyra Scratch, you can actually buy blue potions at the Lake Hylia shop in the Dark World, right next to Link's house. So actually, it's not that difficult to get to.
Mm-mm. Alright, with the 7th crystal in hand, Chexhuman will now be heading up to, I guess, the castle, I suppose, and getting up to Ganon.
Yeah, so there are, let's see, 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's tower. And one of them is going to have the big key. So if you want, throw a guess from 1 to 22 in the chat. I believe there's a leaderboard for anyone who has subscribed or cheered 250 bits total. And if you haven't, well, you can still just guess for fun.
Yeah, it's always a nice little game that we play here. Do you have a preference as to what chest you go for?
I'd like to see this game be a little closer, so let's go with something like 21.
Okay, alright. Yeah, I usually go for my lucky number 5. Depending on routing that you do, that is usually one of the chests inside the Southhouse room. And there's checks opening up the tower, which is not as exciting as in inverted mode, but...
And he's gonna go straight left side.
And heart container on the torch, so that's 1.
And he's got 15 hearts already. I don't think he really cares about another one.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's good for the rest of the seed. Alright, 3 is map, 4 is heart piece, 5, big 20.
He's using this strat. So some people do this one, where they do the first 5 chests on the left side and then clear out the whole right side.
Alright, chest 7, 6 and 7 are both small keys.
Trent, meanwhile, doing the big bomb. I don't think Chex did this.
He did not know.
But we know he's not going to find anything he wants.
Oh! He did find silvers, though.
Well, those are nice.
Mm-hmm.
But he still needs the tool to use them.
Right. Chest 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Chex will be finishing off left side.
Yeah, those are vanilla silvers.
Mm-hmm. I believe also in vanilla, that's also where you find the last sword upgrade.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Trent's gonna go check the pedestal, which we know is Bombos.
Right, that's chest 12, another small key. some cool execution from Chex here, making the way through in search of the big key here. And I believe that was chest 13 with a single arrow.
Trent's going to do the smith chain now.
Alright, chest 14, 15, 16, 17. Ooh, this is getting down to the wire here.
I think I said 21, so it's getting
You did,
close.
yeah. You're getting close. And with the blacksmith chain, Trenter will be finding the bow as well, and we'll be heading into go mode as well.
Yeah,
momentarily.
Fortunately, he's going to be significantly behind here. So, unless Chexhuman has a catastrophic amount of trouble with this Master Sword Silverless Ganon, that might just be a little bit too much to catch up.
Alright, and Chex makes some quick work out of the second Armos Knight fight here. 8, 19, 20, 21.
21. Well, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, silvers were found in the Pyramid Fairy, which Chexhuman did not do. Yeah, tile room. We will leave that for another seed, guys. Alright, so we'll see how Chex will do with the climb here and finishing up the seed.
Yeah, he does have to watch his arrow count a bit here.
Alright, and opting not to go for the safeties behind the wall there, we're just going to be moving on to the gauntlet. Now this room is definitely, this portion of the climb at least is pretty, it can be pretty tedious.
Yeah, especially with only Master Sword.
Yeah. Although, chat does bring up a good point. In the case, if Chexhuman does need the silvers, after Ganon tells him where they are, he could just head over to the bomb shop and get the big bomb and bomb for the Pyramid Fairy, since it's right there. But we'll see if he will opt to do that. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Chexhuman's playstyle if he usually forgoes getting silver arrows.
Yeah, if he doesn't find another sword, my guess is he'll just go and pick up some potions. Since, especially without that half magic, it can be a tough fight.
Yeah. Alright, so with Trencher with the silver arrows, he'll have an easier time with the Armos Knights here, with only one arrow each.
Chex does find the powder, which is not very useful at this point in time.
And you can powder the anti-fairies here. A little bit more health. And here's round 2 with Moldorm.
Oh, that was close.
Ooh.
Oh,
Too close.
he gets it done.
And just 20 rupees in the final chest. So we're going to be going into this with Master Sword, Silverless for Chexhuman.
Yeah.
Right, now it's time for geometry time with our good friend Ganon 2. Very nice triple.
Yep.
Alright, well done.
Alright, so just green mail, just a Master Sword, no silvers. He's got the bare minimum to fight Ganon here.
I believe in total it takes 56 spins, if I remember correctly. I know it's a lot.
Yeah. I think it's 12 for each of the first 2 phases, and then 4 on phase 3, and I think 24 on the last phase. So
Yeah,
that's 52, I believe. So it's
52,
quite
right.
a lot.
It's a lot of spins.
So he's just gonna jump right in, no potions, no nothing.
Also
Well, maybe
important
he's
to-
just hoping to get that hint.
Yeah. Also, what's important to point out for if you do a silverless Ganon fight, one thing to try to get down is the torch glitch, which I would assume that Chex would be doing for this fight.
Yeah, I think it's almost mandatory here.
Yeah. Alright, so we are now in phase 2 of the Ganon fight with the summoning of the fiery bats.
Oh, he does have one potion there.
He's gonna be using magic cape strats here. Also important, interesting to point out, we never found half magic either, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be, we have to use up our magic wisely here.
Chat. Some of the chat members saying they expect Chex will have no problem with this fight. So far, yeah, he seems to be doing it pretty well.
Yep, using the hookshot strats here for a little bit of invincibility here.
Does take a hit from the fire bats.
And now we're moving on to phase 3 as the edges of the room slowly fall down. Of course, Ganon is not going to go down so easily.
Fine. Arrows in Dark World. We know they were at the Pyramid Fairy.
Right, and see checks with the torch glitch there, where as soon as the torch on the left goes out, the moment you relight it, the torch on the right will always stay lit. So you only have one torch to worry about.
Check's doing a really good job. He's got 5 hits so far. He needs 24 in total.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely practiced this quite a bit.
Yeah, doing any sort of silverless fights with Ganon does take a little bit more practice and getting the execution down just right. Because if you hit him too early, then he'll turn blue. If you hit him too late, then he'll just miss before he teleports.
I believe that's 14 hits, if I'm counting correctly. He's going to have to switch to lamp since he's starting to run low on magic. And yeah, he's normally you can just get 2 hits per cycle, but if you have the timing down, you can get 3 hits for each torch cycle. Mm-hmm. And he seems to be doing that most of the time.
Oh, that was close. Ooh.
Yeah.
Gotta keep up with the suspense here. And that is it for Chexhuman.
Alright, get your GGs in chats, folks.
Alright, and that is game for Chexhuman.
Yeah, Chex wins the race with a time, official SRL time, 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 45 seconds. So congratulations, Chexhuman.
Yep. And with this, this will move Chex into 3-0 in the group stage.
Yep. And yeah, I agree. That was a very good Ganon fight.
Okay. All right, we're going to see if we can get Chexhuman in for a post-race interview. Right, and as we were seeing Trencher going through Ganon's tower as well. Yeah, I'm not sure where the rest of the swords are. I would imagine that I would imagine that there would be a sword upgrade, possibly in Desert Palace. I want to say definitely in Ice Palace, if I had to make a guess. Because that was the one palace that no one entered in.
And we have Chexhuman with us. GG and congrats on the win.
Yes,
GG. Thank you.
So, what were your thoughts overall about this on the seed?
It was a pretty fun seed. I haven't played enough inverted to really compare one seed to the next. And I haven't learned how to clear caves that are directly in my path yet.
Yeah.
But I'm learning. I don't know. And I haven't learned how to deal with Smith and Purple Chest yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was nice. It was like a steady, slow drip of progression.
Yeah.
with, you know, a necessary green pendant for just a sword and
Yeah.
no other pendants.
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed to work out in my favor.
Yeah, and I think it was a required hammer blind fight, if I remember correctly, because that gave you, was it the gloves?
It sure felt like it.
Yeah.
Gloves were somewhere around there.
Well,
Yeah, I practiced hammer blind beforehand and couldn't really do it with 3 hearts. More than, let's say, 25% of the time.
yeah, it's a tough fight.
So the early hearts were outstanding.
Yeah.
And also, we were debating on if you were going to go back for the silver arrows after Ganon revealed the location. So Transfer found the silver arrows. They were in the Pyramid Fairy.
Right. Vanilla, of course.
But you had a really impressive Master Sword Silverless fight. Yeah, we were wondering if you would even like go back for some potions or something, but no problem.
Right. No, you know, learning Silverless Ganon was one of the first strats I learned, and it was you know, pretty. It's a pretty enjoyable glitch, basically.
Yes,
Sort of a glitch. But it was one of my favorite strats I learned, so I haven't had to search for silvers in a long time.
So, question from chat: did you thought you had the hookshot as you arrived at Hookshot Cave, or you planned on getting it later? Because we noticed that you saw it on Lake Hylia Island, but you didn't get it the first time around. Was that planned, or what was going through your mind there?
Oh, that's right. I didn't realize I could get it.
Oh.
Of course, if I had got it, I would have probably... What would I have done? I would have either missed Zora, or I would have gone all the way back and then gone to the island, and then skipped Ice Rock Cave again, which would have been just fine.
Yeah,
so that's pretty interesting.
We saw you swimming back from Zora, so we assumed that you were going to go back to get the hookshot.
Right.
But,
yeah, so
you did. I think the only thing you passed up on there was Blue Mail in the Hookshot Cave.
Right, and
Yes.
That was a mistake as well.
yeah, they're
I wrote it down afterward, like, oh, that was something I should have done.
Yeah, so the 2 mail upgrades, one of them was in Eastern Palace, which you go moded, and the last one was in Hookshot Cave. So doing the rest of the seed with green mail, Master Sword, no silver arrows, definitely not an easy feat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said mail was in Eastern and Hookshot Cave.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So Trent's just coming up here to Moldorm 2. He's only got the Master Sword as well, but he does have red mail and a silver, so it should be a little faster of a fight for him.
Still have to do spin strats though with the Master Sword for the Ganon fight. Since you can't do. Actually, wait. Is that? I believe that's because if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he will have to spin, but he can use the arrows on phase 4.
Yeah.
So I saw you were chatting a little bit in IRC. Do you know kind of what was sort of the big point that put you ahead?
I don't know. Trenter said they missed the Spiral Cave Samaria.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was, I think that was the biggest point. Because you guys seem to be, like, you were going in different directions for most of it, but you seem to be both finding progression. Until we realized that Trent had skipped Spiral Cave and done most of the rest of Death Mountain. But as he was diving into Pendant Ice Palace, and the first hint in there said, Cane of Samaria is in Spiral Cave. So he was
He was very happy when he saw that, by the way.
yeah. Well, we got a few happy slashes.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what? That's the great thing about Ice Palace. I mean, I forgot. I did well, not really practice, but I did an overworld glitched inverted last night where I forgot Uncle Passage, and the first hint, or the second maybe, revealed that a unique item was there. So I figured I would miss something. So I used a map tracker for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and probably not a bad idea for a category you don't run very often.
Right. Yes, I believe with your win here, you are now at 3 wins. How are you feeling for the rest of the group stages?
I'm having fun with it.
Mhm.
Just a little variety here and there, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to my races with Kyong 92 this week.
Oh.
Those will be a hefty challenge. I usually don't win against him, but you never know.
Trenter now moving on to stage 3 of Ganon. So he should be able to finish this pretty quickly with the silver arrows. Of course, he's got to go through all these warps that we already saw from Chexhuman.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
there
Ganon
was a good 10, 15 warps here.
Yeah, Ganon was not going down without a fight, or at least without teleporting a million times.
Just a little troll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't expect anything less from him. Alright, so Trender did not go for the torch glitch here, but won't have too much an issue here with the silver arrows. Alright, and that's it for Trenter. Alright, and please put your GGs in chat for Trenter TR as he finishes up the seed. With, I believe, well, time here is 1:58:28. I don't know if that's any different for SLR time.
His official SLR time was 1:58:29.
Alright, cool. Right, put your GGs in chat. And speaking of, here we have with us Trenter TR. GG to you.
Yeah, thanks. GG over there.
Seemed so as we asked Chexhuman, what were your overall thoughts on today's seed?
That was a loaded Death Mountain.
Yes, very loaded.
How'd you feel about that hint at Ice Palace?
At that point, I was like already contemplating maybe that gamble wasn't a good one. Maybe something was up there, and it was just confirming, hey, you missed this. Because I basically wanted to go up there and do Spiral Cave if needed when I get the Sumaria.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts when it's actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely rough. And we had thought that you were gonna continue into Ice Palace, but once you saw the hint, you just went out. You just left and went immediately back to Spiral Cave.
Yeah, that was, I think, the biggest difference was just that Cane of Samaria.
Honestly, it felt like even more. I had no idea how to route certain things in because the mirror was very weird placed, and when I found the hook shot, I did go on to Death Mountain. I was like, yeah, I can check the right side of Lightwall Death Mountain. This might be huge. And then I find the flippers, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing here?
It's like, what are these doing here? There was a good race between the two of you, both with Master Sword. I'm sure that made climbing up the tower a little bit difficult than usual.
Indeed. I wished I got more, but like the first 15 minutes, I had no sword. I was like,
yeah.
I actually was rechecking my seed if it's not swordless, and I can actually do Muffula already. Like, it wasn't
no, we never found the other two swords, so who knows where they were.
I'm thinking they have to be in Ice Palace because that was the only dungeon that neither of you checked. And I don't think we didn't get further into Desert Palace as well. So I think there was still one item.
Or Tile Room, you never know.
Or Tile Room, yeah. But yeah, it was a good race between the two of you. I believe this is your second race with the two of you.
There was a second race between each other, yeah. That was my seed variation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So your next race will be with random settings.
Yes, and it's already rolled. Like, we already know what we're gonna get.
Okay.
Oh. What is it?
It will be a swordless Randomizer in open.
Oh.
That sounds tough.
No,
I forgot it was swordless.
I mean, speaking of, you guys don't have to worry about swords this time.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, it might not be that much different from this seed.
Do you guys have a date for when you'll be having that third match, by the way? Or is that still yet to be scheduled?
Tomorrow,
Same
same time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll be getting that out of the way soon.
Mm-hmm. And you guys still have other matches with the other members in your group as well. And how have you guys been feeling so far, like in the group stages, just as an overall feeling?
Seems like a good group. We seem to be scheduling at a good pace. I'm getting as much done as I can early on.
Mm-hmm. I believe you guys have 15 matches that has to be done by December, I believe was the deadline that they gave you guys. So I feel like you guys are getting there.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about the race?
I never gamble Spiral Cave again.
It's definitely something that is easily overlooked and a hard place to go back into as well once after the fact.
All right. Well, you guys did a great race, so thank you for joining us. And I'd just like to throw out a link in chat to follow our runners. They're both very talented.
Mm-hmm.
And,
they will be. Excuse me.
And also follow our commentators, myself and Crazy Sunshine, as well as our tracker, Shandis. Mm-hmm. I'd also like to mention, for this group stage of this tournament, we have a total of 720 races to be played over the next 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to catch as much action as you can, make sure to follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5.
Yep, we've seen a lot of matches planned out for the next few weeks, guys, and be watching different modes, different crazy ways of how we can do Randomizer now. And just kind of see what happens from here. And also, I would like to thank our Restream team for putting the lovely stream that you guys see before you. Without them, we literally would not have a show for you guys. So definitely give them some love. And if you're interested in Randomizer yourself, we do have a Discord available that you guys can check out and visit us and talk all things Link to the Past Randomizer. We would love to have you. And I believe, as mentioned earlier, the group stages will be going on up until sometime in December. And there are 96 racers to check out. Each racer will be facing off the opponents in their groups 3 times each, so 15 races in total. Top 2 racers from each group will be moving on to the bracket stages, which will be more fun times up ahead. So hope you guys can join us for future races to come.
Yeah, so with that, I think we'll wrap up. So again, GG Trent and Chexhuman. All right.
Yes,
Good night,
GG to
everyone.
you both. See you guys later.